The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Chapter 1. Tom! No answer. Tom! No answer. Where is that boy, I wonder? You, Tom! No answer. The old lady pulled her spectacles down and looked over them about the room. Then she put them up and looked down under them. She looked puzzled for a moment, and then she said loud enough for the furniture to hear, "Well, if I find you, I'll..." She looked at the bed, then she went to the open door and stood in it, and looked down into the garden. No Tom. So she shouted, "You, Tom!" There was a noise behind her, and she turned just in time to see a small boy opening the door of a closet. She quickly ran and caught him by his collar. "There, I forgot about that closet. What did you do in there?" "Nothing." "Nothing! Look at your hands, and look at your mouth. What is that on your hands and face?" "I don't know what." "Well, I know. It's jam. That was this. I've told you 40 times to let that jam alone. Give me that switch." "My! Look behind you, Aunt!" The old lady turned round and snatched her skirts out of danger. At that moment, the boy ran out to the door, jumped over the high-board fence, and disappeared. His Aunt Polly stood surprised for a moment, and then broke into laughter. "What a boy! Can I never learn anything? Hadn't he played me enough tricks like that by this time? But to tell the truth, he never plays them in like 2 days, and how could I know what's coming? He knows very well just how he will torment me before I lose my temper. And he knows if he put me off for a minute or make me laugh, it's all down again, and I can't punish him. He's a troublemaker, that boy. But he's my own dead sister child, poor thing. Every time I let him off, my conscience hurts me. And every time I hit him, my old heart breaks. If he missed school this afternoon, I just have to make him work on tomorrow to punish him. It's hard to make him work on Saturday when all the boys are having holidays. But he hates work more he hates anything else. He needs harsh discipline. And I've got to do my duty for him, although a lonely child." Tom did miss school this afternoon, and he had a very good time. He had forgotten all his troubles. Not because his troubles were less heavy and bitter to him than a man are to a man, but because a new and powerful interest drew him for this mind for this time. This new interest was a new blackbird and a manual whistling, which he had just learned from the Negro, and he was eager to practice it. The reader probably remembered how to do it, if he had ever been a boy. He walked down the street with mouth full of harmony, and his soul full of pleasure. He felt like an astronomer who had discovered a new planet. The summer evening was long. It was not dark yet. Suddenly, Tom stopped whistling. A stranger was before him, a boy a little larger than himself. New people not often seen in the poor little town of St. Petersburg. This boy was well dressed too, well dressed on a weekday. This was unusual. He had shoes on, and it was always Friday. He even wore a necktie. The more Tom looked at the boy, the higher he turned up his nose, and the poorer his own clothes seemed to him. A boy did not speak. If one moved, the other moved, but only in a circle. They kept face to face and eye to eye all the time. Finally, Tom said, "I can beat you." "I'd like to see how you'll try to do it." "Well, I can do it." "No, you can't." "Yes, I can." "No, you can't." "I can." Can't. On a comfortable pause. Then Tom said, "What's your name?" "It It isn't any of your business, maybe. Well, I can make it my business. What don't you? If you say much, I will. Much, much, much. There now. Oh, you think you're clever, don't you? I can beat you with one hand. Won't you do it? You say you can do it. Well, I will, if you fool with me. Oh, yes, I've heard things like this. You think you're some, don't you? Oh, what a hat! You can knock it off if you don't like it. Take a walk. Won't you do it then? It's because you're afraid. I'm not afraid. You are. I'm not. You are. You're a liar. You are another. Another pause, and we're going around each other. Finally, they were shoulder to shoulder. Tom said, "Get away from here. Go away yourself. I won't either." So they stood, each with a foot book and angle, wrestling, and looking at each other with hatred. But neither could get an advantage. After some struggle, each of them moved back, and Tom said, "You're a coward. I told my big brother about you, and he can beat you with his little finger, and I can make him do it too. I'm not afraid of a big brother. I've got a brother that's bigger than yours, and what's more, he can throw it over that fence too." Both brothers were not real, of course. "That's a lie." Tom drew a line with the big toe and said, "If you step over that, I'll beat you. I can't just stand up." The new boy stepped over and said, "Never said you do it. Now let's see how you do it." "For 2 cents, I will do it." The new boy took copper coins out of his pocket and held them out. Tom struck him to the ground. In a moment, boys like rolling in the dirt like cats. For a minute, they tore each other's head and clothes, and scratched each other's noses, and covered themselves with dust and glory. Finally, through the fog of battle, Tom appeared. He was sitting on the new boy and beating him with his fists. "Say enough!" said he. The boy only struggled to free himself. He was crying. He was angry with Tom. "Say enough!" And Tom went on beating the boy. At last the stranger cried out, "Enough!" And Tom let them stand up and said, "Now I'll teach you how to with me." And Yuba went on brushing the dust from his clothes, looking at back and shaking his head, and threatening what he'd do Tom next time he caught him out. Tom laughed. As soon as his back was turned, the new boy took a stone, threw it to Tom, and hit him between the shoulders, and then ran like an antelope. Tom followed the boy home and found out where he lived. He didn't stay at the gate for some time, but the enemy only made faces at him from the window and refused to come outside. At last, the enemy's brother appeared and called the bad child and ordered him away. So he went away. He got home late that night, and when he got in his room through the window, he found his aunt. When she saw his dirty clothes, she decided to turn his Saturday holiday into a working day.